Welcome to another episode from the Ed Ed. A few months ago I did a video on making a reproduction speaker horn attachment that would use your earphones from the early 1920s and made a replica of that. And every once in a while in these ads I'd notice attachments for phonographs. And naturally, of course, I thought, why not make a phonograph attachment version of my headphone adapter horn and just simply lop off the horn part and just have the little adapter ear Y section, kind of like what this one headphone adapter for a gramophone was set up like. Also, at the time, you could have gotten an adapter that would have gone directly onto the, basically replacing the driver, the reproducer of the record player, and obviously that cost quite a bit more. So for as little as say $3, you could have gotten something that maybe worked. So I thought I'd lop off the bottom half of my 3D printed model and just put it on my phonograph here and see what it would do. So here's a quick project. I have the 3D print files on Thingiverse, and let's see how this headphone adapter for a phonograph works. Okay, so here we have our 1920, I think it's Model 6 Victrola, and I'm going to take the reproducer off. This is basically the little guy that has a diaphragm in it, and a needle moves that diaphragm, and of course the sound then is transmitted down this tube acoustically to ultimately the horn that's built into the machine below. And the idea behind this guy is it's just the base of my previous project a few months ago of a fold-up speaker horn. Basically it's just the top lopped off and some adapter made to fit this horn, horn arm, I guess I should say. There's I optionally have a couple O-rings that I can put in to make the seal a little bit better for the earphones. It just sticks right in there. The design does have a groove in it for an O-ring, and couldn't quite get the O-ring to fit. Maybe if you change your print size by a few percent, you might get that opening a little bit bigger to fit an O-ring in or something like that. I think the problem is the O-ring I chose was not quite right, but either that or you might have to Dremel a little bit of sand a little bit this hole to make it fit snugly to this hole. It's kind of one of those things, what percentage to print some of these files to get that last little bit. You'll have to maybe experiment with it a bit. And then we take our headphones, stick them on there, and try to get them as seated as carefully as possible so that we get as good a seal as possible. Might take a bit of fiddling to get it just right. And there we go. We're about ready to listen to some music and share it together. So the MP3 player is set to its maximum volume, and here's the attachment. Exactly knock your socks off, but in a quiet room and you're wanting to share music with somebody, and you don't want to share go back and forth wearing the headphones, and you can't afford an amplified speaker horn at the moment. This is kind of a fill-in product that lasted a few years until those products became more available. And the microphone's what, about a foot and a half away maybe from the opening of the speaker horn of the phonograph. You know, and this product would have been $3, which is still quite a bit of money back then. You might have earned as little as $1 a day. You know, the next thing up would have been the kind of like the equivalent replica of what I made a few episodes ago. That would have been like, you know, $12. And then if you wanted an attachment that would go and replace your reproducer directly without using your headphones, that would have been also about $12. And you know, what if you had a radio signal that wasn't strong enough to drive that, you know, that reproducer attachment, and you had to go back to the headphones? Well, at least you still own the headphones for this. And obviously, it was kind of a very short-term product. By you know, this is like era of 1921, 1923. By 1925, you don't see these advertised anymore. It was probably just a handy little product for some little company to make that, you know, might have done castings or some other, you know, products, and they didn't know much in the way of electronics back in the day, but they could make these things, so it was, you know, something that they could knock out real quick and hopefully make a buck or two. It obviously didn't last very long, business-wise. Anyhow, let's give it a try. Maybe think about downloading my 3D print files from Thingiverse. If you happen to have a 3D printer, give it a try. It's a fun little quick project. If you happen to have some antique headphones and an old phonograph. And thanks for watching. Natural is a quick bonus. I just had to think of the idea of doing some modern headphones. Here's some $15 headphones. So, there's a bonus for you. $15 headphones. Same volume. And microphones double the distance. So, if you happen to have an antique phonograph, don't happen to have antique headphones, have some modern ones, still want to play, and you want to, you know, wow your friends, here's a fun project then. So give it a try, and once again, thanks for watching.